Y'all, today's show is so good.
But number one, I've never seen an intro like that.
It is my hope and desire that not only will episode 30 still be fun, but episode 300 will be even more fun. You are made for something great, so go and be awesome.
Ten seconds remaining.
Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings, and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, today's show is going to be so amazing because our corporate sponsor, Wilbron, is sponsoring us today. Wilbron is Alabama's premier public relations agency, and we are so grateful for their sponsorship. But let me tell you about today's guest. Y'all, today's guest is absolutely amazing. Her name is Renee Knorr, and she is a visionary warrior with an abundance mindset, driven by a mission to uplift millions of families worldwide. Dedicated to empowering women and girls, she aims to cultivate wealth through technology, fashion, health, and wellness. These experiences are had on a global scale. Renee adds value by offering guidance in financial literacy, specializing in Forex, binary options, and digital currency, all while advocating for a balanced and healthy lifestyle. With a belief that the universe is our playground, she encourages others to live purposefully and abundantly. Renowned for her captivating presence, Renee is recognized as one of the most influential voices in Clubhouse. Y'all, put your hands together for Renee! Renee! It looks like we may have lost Renee. But, y'all, I'm so excited that you are here with us today. It sounds like we may have lost our audio and our video with Miss Renee, and I am hoping that we get her back. But until we do, let me tell you a little bit about her. So I met Renee back in, I'm going to say probably 2017 or 2018, and it was through a mutual friend of ours. His name is Ted. And she's just such a striking woman, just truly magnificent, and just has so much passion for women and girls and making sure that they understand their absolute brilliance and power that they have to be women warriors and in control of their life. So y'all, I'm super excited about Renee being a guest on our show and being able to share with us her experiences, what actually brought her to this place, and how we can get to know her better and follow her on and all the great work that she's doing. So y'all, join me in welcoming Renee Knorr to the stage.
Hey,
Hey, Renee, it's the other Renee.
hey.
It's so great to have you.
Thank you so much. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, as do you, as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure thing. So let's just jump right in. I kind of was telling our audience a little bit about you. We've got a few folks that have joined us, and will chime in the chat if they have any questions about any of the things that you are saying, or if anything you say resonates with them. We'd love to hear about it in the chat. We're so grateful for our viewers. So Renee, jump right in. Tell us, was there something in your path that prompted you to start this journey that you're on as a global woman wealth warrior? That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. It's Global Women Wealth Warriors. Global Women Wealth Warriors. There you go.
I love it.
Oh my goodness. Well, interesting enough, I'm grateful to be a daughter of Willie Mae Wilson. That was my amazing mother. And I used to always appreciate how she raised us. She was known as like the mother of so many. And it was like, as a young girl growing up, it was like, everybody's calling her mother. They need to get their own mom. I was a little selfish. I'm going to let you know that for sure.
Right.
Remember mom just really being so resilient. She was definitely a committed woman. She used to be a Jehovah's Witness. And oh my goodness, she always instilled so much in us. She had children, a family of 5 children. And I was just always grateful to watch her interact with people. And I would say this too. She's always tell me, keep your head up and your shoulders back. Keep your head up and your shoulders back. See, I grew up, I was very tall. They used to call me Too Tall Jones alongside the ugly green giant. And I always says, not what they call you, is what you answer to. But one of the things mom used to always make sure I kept my shoulders back. I didn't understand why the importance of us keeping those shoulders back. But now I do. And not only did I watch my mom, mom, she got her wings earlier. I'm actually 2 years older than what she was on the earth. But I remember how she was always making sure she was there for others. Even up into her last days, she was always nurturing others. So not only am I grateful to be on her birthday, January 23rd, we share that together. She also named me after her mother. I will say this also, Renee. Now I'm in a position of being able to help to witness to others. I'm grateful that I've watched her through her resiliency to not only to be that beacon of hope, but to also help to impact and change lives. And not only am I in my calling, I'm grateful to be in my purpose. Travel the world with Ebony Fashion. In addition to that, fashion. And alongside with committed to humanity. And that's where I am. I'm so thankful that God gave me a second chance.
Oh, isn't it? I mean, where would we be without second chances, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm telling you, I mean, we've all been through some things in life, some of us have regrets and wish we had done things differently, but thank God for second chances for sure. So tell me a little bit, Renee, about how you got started in the finance industry and how finance translated into fashion.
Oh, girl, that was a good one right there. Coming from New Orleans, Louisiana, getting into the whole financial literacy space, back then, mom, nor even our grandparents really knew much about that area. After I left from Ebony Fashion Fair, which was an incredible opportunity, I jumped right into the banking industry. And it was a little bit of nervousness, I'm going to be honest with you, because again, that was like an unfamiliar space. I had to trade in my stilettos to now start grabbing these books, getting behind the counter and helping to manage others with whether it's their accounts or whatever the case may be. So it was a transition that I did because leaving from modeling, it was like I really wanted some more stability. That's really what I was striving towards. And not only was I grateful that I was able to jump right into with SunTrust Bank, and then I wound up leaving from SunTrust, going to another bank. But I'll say this, it helped to ground me. When you think about corporate America, it's always like you got the pros and you got the cons. But I was so wonderfully grateful for the opportunity of being able to connect with businesses, learn a lot more foundation in that area. So not only did I have to trade in my stilettos, but I'll say this, I didn't trade in my stilettos when I went to work. I still look like a model. I still look like myself as the boss. And it was so funny. Many people would say, you need to be a model. What are you doing here? You should be here at the bank. But I love people, Renee. I really, really love people. And I gather after maybe 2008, 2009, I traded in my banking card. And I went right back into what I love so much, and that's fashion, entertainment, and still managing to help people no matter where I am.
Right. And that's the part though, right? No matter where you are helping people. This passion that you have for people, it just radiates off of you. When I'm in your presence, I'm like, I can feel the love. I feel that you are for me. Do you know what I mean? And you want
Yeah.
what's best for me. And it is so great. I just absolutely love that about you. So,
Yeah.
but where do you think this passion came from? What made you so passionate about helping families succeed in life?
As I share with you, watching my mother, that definitely had to be rooted deep down inside of me. And then, one of my, I guess we all had the mentor in our minds that we always want to grow up to be like Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah Winfrey was truly one of those other icons I looked up to. And I remember back in the day, I used to wear those big dresses, those big old scarves around my neck as well. I wanted to be Oprah. Oh my goodness.
Uh-huh. Oh,
You
that's
know,
fun.
just being able to witness to others sharing stories. And one of the things I remember with my mom, even though she was always there for others, she didn't get a chance to travel. When I say travel, I mean like on planes and things of that nature. And
Mm,
I remember they used to always do road trips. Her and her sisters loved doing those road trips, like Gail and how Oprah does these road trips driving. Well,
mhm.
I've literally just taken it just a little bit level, changed it up just a little bit because I'm soaring now. And I still love to help our young women bridging those gaps, because one of the reasons I remember as a woman, we don't always have to depend on our husbands, or we always had to depend on our significant other when it came down to finances, or when it came down to just understanding how to run the household. And what I realized in my whole transition, I really wanted women to be whole mentally, physically. I really wanted women to be able to find their strength and their voices. So I guess that's also what helped me to propel and even to jumping into not only having a company that stimulates empowerment as well as promotes financial literacy and health and wellness, but truly to keep our women whole. So that's kind of like how I jumped in from banking, modeling, and now into empowerment, and also having my foundation with the Global Women Wealth Warriors.
I love it. Tell us more about the Global Women Wealth Warriors. When I first heard that, I was like, global, love that. Because we are, this world is so small, actually. Even though it's big, it can be small because of the interconnectedness of us all.
Mhm.
Women, I mean a woman, and wealth, always wanting to grow wealth and abundance, and then being a warrior, being of that fighter to stand up for yourself and actually dealing with all of the things that life throws at you as a woman, as a wife, as a mom, as a boss, all the things. There's so much we, have to fight against sometimes, especially if we're in a male dominated field. So tell us more about your vision and what your mission is for Global Women Wealth Warriors.
Well, you said some really important areas there, and those were some of the items that also helped us to really to form the company. But what I was missing, Renee, I didn't see enough women coming together to really stick together to transform and impact and change lives. So
Mm,
when it came about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, had an epiphany, and I'm like, God, what is it you want me to do? I literally asked God, what is it he wanted me to do? And I stretched out in the middle of my floor, and I got real still. And I didn't move until he wanted me to move, until there was that sign. And lo and
mm,
behold, the name Global Women Wealth Warriors came about. Yes, like you said, I'm going to take it backwards. Warriors, because we're at war right now. We're
mm.
like in that silent war, and also we're in that huge war when it comes down to just learning more, especially in the financial literacy space. And so that was one of the areas I wanted us to focus on. In addition to that, being able to appreciate being in some of these markets, having a seat at the table. And even if you don't have a seat at the table, you better go create your table and have others to come and pull up. And that's something that we really was being able to empower women to realize they have to use their voices. Don't just sit and wait for things to happen. You have to constantly be very proactive and being able to understand why you are here, finding your purpose, utilizing your voice, and getting in front of those who you can connect with, who you can build with, who you can share with, who you can laugh with, who you can pray with. And so with the Global Women Wealth Warriors, we've been able to do that successfully. Not only was the company formed to bridge that gap with financial literacy and health and wellness, but it also was able to help those underrepresented girls, because there was a huge piece that was really a sweet spot in my heart. I am a mother. At that time when I started, I gather my daughter was 17 and here she is 24. And I'm grateful to be still grounded because I understood my why. I understood my purpose, and I knew for sure if I just stayed consistent, we can reach many mountains and move mountains. And you know, Renee, not only have we been successful in doing so, that whole wealth, it is about that. You know, we have to be so intellectual. It's not like anybody's going to knock at the door and say, you know, you got to learn this today. No, you have to be proactive, looking for ways to better yourself and realizing that you need mentors. That's right, mentors. So we've been able to gravitate in those spaces, been able to resonate with so many individuals across the world. And I'll say this, global. I knew deep down in my heart, we truly, truly had something so special. So not only did I see us growing, being an impact, you know, we have now successfully traveled over to Africa, Dubai, London, Paris. I mean, the markets are just wide open because I always say the universe really is our playground. We just have to start getting getting busy and really living our life with more intentions. So the Global Women Wealth Warriors have been successful in not only identifying our purpose, in addition to that, being able to connect with some of those like the Steve and Marjorie Harveys, alongside the Sarah Blakeleys, even Tony Robbins have been able to support our cause and our mission. So I'm so grateful for not only having a vision, but staying committed to the why, and being able to press forward with resiliency. And look at here, it's like 7 years now, Renee. It seemed like it was just yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to applaud you. I have to applaud you and all of the things that you are doing and all of the lives that you are impacting, because it really is, I think, a mindset shift. Because not enough parents know how to speak to their girls about what it means to be a powerful woman with a voice and what to do with it to get where they want to go in life. And so, like you said, mentors are critical. Mentors are absolutely critical. And it, reminds me of the positions that my mom put me in when I was a young girl, giving me opportunities to work with the summer youth employment program in Madison, Wisconsin, which is where we're from. And from a young age, like 12 or 13 years old, we were put into these, she invited me to join the summer youth employment program so that I would gain some employable skills, get exposure to working in an office or exposure to working in something that that might appeal to me. So something that I didn't know otherwise. So being a part of that opportunity, a part of that experience exposed me to what it's like to be a part of a business, being in business, running a business, organizing things. And it was at that time that I made this inner vow that I was going to run my own business one day. But it was because of that exposure and what I was able to see other women who look like me doing with their lives, leading things, being supervisors, being directors and managers and vice presidents. Looking at them, they set the example, they paved the way, they gave me something to look at and look up to. And from that young age, it was I was so impressionable. Is that the word? Yeah, I think that's the word. I was so, it was impressed upon me that is something that could be my reality as well. And and so those are the things that I actually, started focusing on, going to school to learn how business works. How does business operate? what does it take to be successful in business, organizational operations and excellence and that sort of thing. And so from there, because of that exposure and because of those mentors that led in the way and spoke into me and showed me how to do different things and how to handle various situations, it made all the difference in my life. And that's exactly what you are doing right now with Global Women Wealth Warriors. So excited about that for you.
And congratulations to you as well, and thank you. Renee, we do what we do because we have to fill that void. We can make a decision. We can choose to either be on television talking about each other, putting each other down, or we can choose to go to work to lift each other up, to elevate each other and shine the spotlight on. And so I choose the second half.
Yes, same.
I guess my mom placed me on this, and such as yourself right here as well. At the age of 10, I was speaking on stages right there in the Kingdom Hall. Didn't even realize that was going to be helping me to prepare myself for the journey that I'm on right now. And I remember Mom used to always tell me, make sure you write in your journal. Well, not journal, write in your diary. She said, make sure you write in your diary. And we were readers. And I gather to date, it has only helped me to propel. We have a book club, and this year we're reading 52 books right now. And you know what's so wonderful about that? Oh, I love reading. I literally, before I would go to the movies to watch a movie, I would read about the movie first, and then I would go to the movies. And it has really helped me to continue on, not only with my imagination, but also you can read your way through success. You can read your way through success. One of my mentors indicated, I said, what if they took all of your money away from you, if they took all your wealth away from you, what would you do? What would be the first thing you do? He said, I'll pull up in front of a Barnes and Noble, I'll pull up in front of a bookstore, and I'll promise you I'll be able to find a book that will help me to get that motivation back, and that's something that is so true. We just finished reading John C. Maxwell, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And I love how John said, in order for you to know yourself, you have to first grow yourself. And I'm so grateful. Oh, girl. I mean, dropping the mics one after the other. Of course, we just finished celebrating our Black History year, but they just gave us February to shine a spotlight on it. Okay, so with that, we also read another great book. It's The Black Fortunes by Mr. Shamari Wills, and he's talking about over 6 different incredible slaves back in the 1800s that literally had to fight for their lives just to stay alive, because they didn't love the beautiful skin color. But what they were our first millionaires back in the day that pushed forward with resiliency, that pushed forward with, with that passion. And so I'll say this, where we are today, that's why I say you can read your way through success. It has helped us to not only to provide us with a visual blueprint, when it came down for me to start exploring outside the country, I have to give the founders of Ebony Fashion Fair, Mrs. Eunice and Mr. John H. Johnson, all the credit there. Because I got an opportunity to be able to become a global model just because of their lineage. And I would never, ever forget that. They opened up doors for so many of us back then. And, we lost one of our alumni, Mr. Richard Roundtree, recently. And I'll say this too. Not only did they give us an opportunity to see the world, they gave us the opportunity to connect with many people around the globe. Now, it all depends on what you do, because not everybody know what to do when the opportunities present themselves. So that was just a little bit of a taste of what Renee Knorr needed. And from there, that helped me to position myself to start really enlarging my vision, enlarging my territory. Finally, I said, you know what? I can see that there's so much more to do, and the world is our universe. And so with that, I've been able to travel outside of the country on numerous occasions because you know why? I'm so curious. curious. I was curious when I was growing up, Renee, and I'm still curious as an adult. I need to see what they're doing over there in Africa. I need to see what they're doing over there in Dubai. I need to see how others live. So therefore I can also be able to add value, or they can add value to my core. So that's just some of the things that I appreciate about the journeys that I've actually been able to embark upon.
Yes, and what exciting journeys they are. We've got a few folks on. Lucy said there's two gorgeous Renees on. Thank you, Lucy. And Daily Movement Webshop said yes to lifting each other up. Yes, absolutely. And if we don't have these experiences like traveling the world, going to different places, how can we give a testimony and a witness? We got to actually be there so we can see some stuff, so we can have some stuff to talk about. Right?
Yes, absolutely. You have to be able to experience the world. You know what kills me, Renee? With those people who've never traveled anywhere, they be the first ones to give you, girl, you shouldn't go over there. You shouldn't even think about going over to Dubai because it's not safe. This and I'm like, wait, have you ever gone there? Oh, if you haven't, zip it. Let me experience it. Okay, let me experience it. And then I'll come back and I'll share my experience with you. And I've realized a lot of people have limiting beliefs. And so those limiting beliefs, they'll try to knock you out. They'll try to literally help you. I mean, they're trying to take you away from your dreams. That's why you cannot tell your dreams to a small-minded person. You cannot tell your dreams to a small-minded person.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes. And, I'm so excited about the life that we have, the journey that we've been on. As it stands right now, last year I received the presidential award, and it took me a full week to even make the announcement that I received this award from Mr. Joe Biden. And I was like, okay, because you already know, Renee, when you get something like of a huge impact, much more responsibilities as a right in front of you, right? And
that's right.
Woo! But you know what? I'm built for this. We all are built for this. And I'm so grateful that God is using me. I know that God's grace is within me, and I'm just a vessel to be able to connect more. I'm looking forward to 2024 that we're now connected and we're going to do more as well.
Absolutely. I could not be more thrilled that our paths have crossed again after all these years, that we are able to catch up and plot the future together. Right? I love that. And I love your abundance mentality that I couldn't, when you said you can't tell your dreams to small-minded people. That is 100% facts. That is just 100% facts, because people who can't see your vision, they don't have the capacity to think that big or that large, or they're trying to say, oh, give you all the reasons why you can't and why, this is against you, or you don't have this, or you don't have that, or how can you expect, this, and you come from here, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. It does not matter. What matters is the here and now and today, and the decisions that we make with each and every day to be intentional about reaching the big goals that we set for ourselves. And then, of course, being prayerful about it and asking God, okay, Lord, if this is where you want me to go, I know you're going to make a way because this is your plan, right? We can't put God in a box and say, I only want this much. I want everything he has for me. Everything.
I do everything through God. Everything. We pray it forward. With the Global Women Wealth Wars, I'm so grateful for all of the ladies and men, because what we had to do, Renee, during the pandemic, we realized that men was also at a deficit. They were at loss. I mean, from being raped, or just so much negative things that was happening to our men. So what we wound up doing with the Global Women Wealth Wars, we also opened up our arms and extended it. So we switched the name just a little bit to the GW3 Society. And the reason why we want everyone to feel that they are included, is no exclusion here, because we need each other in order for us to build these stronger, healthier homes again, because unfortunately the society want to see us separated, divided, constantly fighting, and we don't have time for that. We literally have so get wrapped around positivity, and also being able to stretch ourselves. Because, you know, Renee, we have stretch goals. When I write down our goals for 2024, you know, I'm already getting ready to go into 2025. They're audacious goals. The reason why I travel, the reason why I do what I do, because it keeps me excited about life. I don't have time to think about the negativity, because we have so much more in front of us that can only bring about better hopes and more opportunities. And, you know, I'm like the key maker on the Matrix. He said, there's always another way. There's always another door. And so we just have to realize we got to keep on opening up doors, more doors, in order for us to reach that full potential. A lot of us are not even playing big because we have been talked down to so many times, or we just don't even see ourselves. And that's one of the things I'm grateful that we formed, not only the Global Women Wealth Voice GW3 Society, but we really want people to understand this community here. This community is about empowerment. This community here is about helping you reach those opportunities. You know, as we're traveling over to Africa, we're looking forward to doing a TED Talk right there in Africa. And then we're going to be doing a TED Talk in Atlanta. I mean, we really push ourselves, so therefore we can get out of our comfort zone and keep on living the life that God had intended for us.
Amen. Amen. Girl, that'll preach. I love it. I love it so much. I am so for all of the things that you have going on. And especially when you were talking about the men and how we really need to support our men, and because society has had this way of like making men look like buffoons, making men look stupid, making like women talking down to them in a condescending way, like they're idiots or things like that. And men are the foundation of our family. A strong man is the foundation of the family. We have to build up our men and tell them how amazing they are, how grateful we are to them for all their help and hard work and taking care of us and protecting us and doing all of the things that great men do, because it is just so important, not only to them and their spirit and their sense of confidence and respect. But when the man in the family has those feelings and those emotions, or feels that good about his home, that whole family that's inside that home benefits from that, and from that. So when I see what's happening in commercials, even on television, and hearing different people talk, you know, women sometimes even talking down about men, it just drives me absolutely insane. So I'm so glad that you opened up the GW3 Society for men to be a part of this abundance mentality and mindset as well, because they have been talked down to for too long. And they need to know where their strength is as well. And it's not always just wrapped up in money. It's not just money. It's in how they lead and how they love their wife, how they love their children, how they love God. And because of all of that, they are influencers in their own right, within their home first, and then in their community. And that's how communities change. And that's how lives are changing, and impact is made, and things are made different in the world. So I'm so glad that your organization is embracing this and spearheading this movement to help women recognize and realize that maybe there's some things that we might need to do differently, or say differently, or behave differently, to make this unity and this oneness work in a marriage and relationships to build the family.
Absolutely. One of the courses, or not really a course, but one of the series we do is Tom Ford Fridays. And how we call it Tom Ford Fridays, it's just the fact that we like to wear black and white. But most importantly, it's about relationships. So we call it the remix. And so with it, we have the ladies and the men on the being able to have a conversation, because we realize that it is important for a man to be heard, and a woman, sometimes we need to just go ahead on and close our lips, ladies. I'm letting you guys know I said it, because it's not always important for us to have a response.
Or the
Sometimes
last word.
or the last word. Sometimes a man just needs to know that you're hearing them and that you're listening. Because so those are two different things, listening and hearing. We don't even realize how much trauma people are dealing with, when they were younger. And so that's something that really, I say this, sometimes that has nothing to do with these relationships. It has nothing to do with each other. However, sometimes people bring that into relationships, unfortunately. So you
Mhm.
have to know how to work through that. And in addition to that, you have to know how to navigate a healthier way.
Yeah.
Not all about the hooping and hollering. Let me share this with you. What I used to do back in my 20s and 30s, I don't even have time for it. I sleep like a baby. I think I may have one gray hair or maybe two gray hair, and I love it just like that because really I'm at peace. Last year they awarded me with the Ambassador of Peace Award out of London, and so I have to live up to that. And I'm very, very grateful for the honor. And this year, it gives me an opportunity to pass that on to someone else. And I already have 2, 3 of those individuals that I'm thinking about because they truly have hearts of gold. And you said something that was so key, Renee: love. A lot of
Mhm.
people don't love themselves. So if you don't love yourself, you surely can't show love to anyone else. And
Mm.
that's a piece within itself. You have to get to know yourself. That personal development is everything. And a lot of people jump from one relationship to the other relationship with the other relationship, and all they're doing is carrying their demons with them. I said it. You
Mhm.
literally have to heal yourself before you go into any other direction. And sometimes you need to be by yourself. It's
Mhm.
okay to be by yourself in order for you to find yourself again. And, I think that's something of a healing that a lot of people have to go through. So during our conversations on Fridays, that is a conversation that we have. And, I'm just about how can we become more of a solution to some of the things that we have in the world? Because you know what, Renee? It's up to us. It is up to us to do
Us.
our part. Come on now. John
Right.
Lewis, as he was walking there in Washington, D.C., before he said his last words, he said, I've taken us as far as I can go. So
Mhm.
now it's time for you to do the rest. And he didn't just say the men do the rest. He didn't say the women do the rest. He said it's time for the world to do the rest. Dr.
Right.
Martin Luther King Jr. poured so much into his crew. Come on now, Ambassador.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
he's still slaying. Ms. Zanona Clayton right here in Atlanta. I love what this union has been able to provide for us. It's unity. And so as we continue on, we have to realize we are creating our legacy right now. We
That's
are
right.
in a position to not only live a positive foundation, but also it's all about how we're showing up for generations to come. See, I'm working on my daughters, okay? My
Right.
daughters, okay? I'm working on that foundation. And one of the things I share with you, because this is something that I definitely stress with our team, that dot, 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 it really has to matter. What will your dot, dot, dot
Mhm.
mean? What is it that your dot, dot, dot will connect to when it's
Mhm.
time for you to say goodbye? And some people are like, oh, you're talking about death. I'm like, no, I'm talking about life. Because see that dot, 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 that means you are on a journey to be able to build a stronger foundation, to build a legacy, and you got to be alive in order to do that. You have to be
That's
alive in order to do that. So that dot, dot, dot is really important before you close out that that last. Okay.
right. Dot, dot, dot. I love that. Absolutely. And what that says to me when I hear you say dot, 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 that means that what I'm doing right now in front of the dot, in front of the first dot,
Mm-hmm.
should connect in some way to what happens at the end of the last dot. So that's exactly what you were just saying. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of being intentional in how you live every single day. The decisions that are made every single day are all so important, and that they need to connect to the previous dot and the upcoming dot. Does that make sense? And that helps you stay on the right path, not being distracted by things that are not a part of the dot situation. Right?
Yes, I love it. Well,
So,
distractions are going to happen, though, Renee. We have to prepare for those distractions. And that's one of the things. You have to have a dream board, vision board. You have to visualize what it is that you're going to see, how you're going to see yourself. If you think about this number 7, it's a powerful, powerful number. If you
mm,
realize that not only is a number for completion, but it's also a number how we can continuously show up in our lives, right? I know when you think about the Harry Potter book, she started
no,
already
I don't read
end
Harry Potter.
result in mind, okay? She already knew she was going to write 7 books, 7.
Oh,
And she did it with the end result in mind. So what she did, she finished that one and she worked her way backwards. A lot of us don't understand. We get started, but we stop. We get started because we don't even see the completion. So that's why it's important for you guys to see your way through the finish line. And
yeah.
then that helps you to really expand. Don't think that your road that you're going to be traveling is a short walk in the park. See, we just throw that one little line going across. If it's according to God's plan, you're going to have the potholes, you're going to have the lakes you're going to have to swim through, you're going to have the
Yeah.
river. Oh my goodness, you're going to have to do some
Yes.
backflips as well as some cartwheels, and then you may have to jump around and do a couple of splits as well. Just know
Right.
that. Okay, just know that. All right.
Exactly. Exactly. That is so, so true. And what I love about each of those potholes and each of those cartwheels and backflips and going through the miry muck of all the different things
Right.
is that on the other side, who knew I could backflip?
That's
Right?
right.
Who
That
knew
part.
I could cartwheel? Who knew? Who knew? It's like you just stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone a little bit at a time, little bit, little bit, little bit. And before you know it, you are doing things you never thought you'd be able to do, like in a million years. Right?
Oh
So
yeah.
I love that. And so when you think about the journey that you are on, and how you are impacting people, women, girls. How do you use your plan to empower women worldwide through technology, fashion, and wellness? How does it all go together for you?
Oh man, on a constant, I always think about how can we create experiences that are always winning. Now, again, we can't win in everything, but I always say we're gonna win no matter what. However,
Right? I'm like, wait, we can't. Are you sure?
we're gonna win no matter what. Okay, this winning season right here, this winning season.
That's
All
right. That's what I'm talking
we're
about.
gonna, even though we may not win, we're gonna carry that confidence. Okay, we're gonna carry our confidence. And so, what I usually do, and even just I like to fuel my rural experiences. Financial literacy coming from a banker, right? From health and wellness, I lost over 75 pounds. So that is something that's really important for me. And so I want to make it important for them as well. So with those experiences, we're always going to ensure that we have vendors that can support that or even sponsors. I'm a golfer too, Renee. You probably didn't know that, but I've actually
Mhm.
actually won several different championships with some of my incredible teammates. And
Wow.
so when we get together, it's always an ultimate experience. I promise you, when you come to one of the GW3 Global Society conferences, our Power to Soul Leadership Conference is like none other, because we're going to fuel the fashion. We're going to fuel the energy. We have Power to Leadership conferences that we have incredible speakers. We always usually have about 12 incredible speakers. We're going to meet the authors, because I encourage our teammates as well as our members to all become authors, because we all have stories in us. We have to write our story because now we are preparing our younger generation for the books that they need to read about us now. And
Right.
so with
And
that,
write themselves.
yes, and books themselves. My daughter and I, that's the book that you see behind me is Soar. We literally have our book out, and so excited to be able to work on a collaborative book with her. And you know what's it's a huge blessing? I was so grateful that one of the leading ladies across the world, one of our Von Sway ladies, she's like, I want to do your forward. I'm like, really? So
Oh,
sometimes, let me just share this with you guys. You know, when you know that you are driving in the right direction, God's going to start sending you earth angels that you had no idea. And trust me on this one, guys. It's not
yeah,
even about the vision that you're seeing with these eyes here. No, it's about the vision that you have in your heart, that
that's
heart
right.
and soul. And with that, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what household you came from. It doesn't matter if you had your mother, your father. It doesn't even matter your ethnic group or anything like that. It just matters. It really matters in regard to how you see yourself, how
That's right.
determined you are to your why. There's so many
Yeah.
people that literally was homeless. I mean, we
Mm,
could list several names, but you know what? They were committed. And
yes.
I'll say this too. God
And
tests.
Ariel says amen to
Oh,
that.
yes. God tests, guys. God, you guys think it's Satan sometimes? No. God will test you. He will
Mhm.
test you. He needs to see if you're really ready. He needs to see if you are the one. And I will say this, guys, you got to know it. You got to feel it. You have to have that burning inside of you, that burning inside of you. So whenever we come down to doing our creations for our events, it's a lot of love that goes into it. I'm always thinking about, what if I was on the other side? How would I want to experience it? And I'll share this with you guys. You know, I'm grateful that now we have been able to have sort of like more of a blueprint. Nothing's going to be perfect. Remember that. Nothing in life is perfect. So you got to get away from being all that perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, bye, Felicia. You got to get into working towards the excellence. When you work
Right.
towards excellence, that means you're putting in the consistency. You're showing up every day. You're putting in the 10,000 hours like John C. Maxwell talks about. And I'll say this as well, you know, being able to curate something where people can have fun, where they can fellowship, where they can have great food. I always love ambiance. Everybody know that about Renee Knorr. It has to have the right feel. It's going to be a luxury brand. Oh, yes, it is, Renee. And in addition to that,
Of course, of
Right.
course.
You connect with some incredible people right across the globe. Global Women Wealth Warriors, we're very intentional about that name. And yes, I'm an African American woman. And yes, I travel over to Dubai. I travel over to Africa. But when you get together in our experiences and our conferences, it will be an international experience.
Wow. Wow. That sounds so incredibly amazing. I'm like, where is the paper for me to sign on the dotted line? Sign me up because it sounds so incredibly amazing. And I know that we're almost running out of time. I cannot believe that the time has just flown so fast. But hearing you talk about the testing time that we go through, I consider those testing times trusting times,
Mm.
because it's in those times when you think God is left and you're like out here flopping around like a fish out of water, trying to figure things out and trying to find the water again, that we really have to trust that God is still on the throne, working behind the scenes, figuring things out for us on our behalf, fighting and clearing the pathway for us to be able to walk this journey that He has purposed for our lives. So I am so grateful that for the testing times, even though they're hard, and it's like, Lord, are you sure? Because I know you said you wouldn't give me anything more than I could handle, but I don't know if I'm this strong.
You know
you
what,
know.
Renee? It has to be hard. It has to be hard. If it's not going to be hard, we're not going to appreciate it. So many people take things for granted. And I'll
Mm,
say this, we should never even think that He's going to leave us. If you are a true soldier of God, you have to
mm,
have that strong belief system that is unbreakable. In addition to that, that faith that can overcome anything. And you have to automatically not just ask for God when you're going through something, you got to always have gratitude in your heart.
yeah.
You have to have gratitude in your heart each and every day. When you wake up, you know, we have right now our 90-day awakening journal. With this 90-day awakening journal, it's all about those 7 minutes. In those 7 minutes, you have to dedicate yourself to God first. You have to meditate. You write out a prayer to Him every day. You do that. You write him a thank you note because he brought you all the way here. And now you want to start talking negative about him? Absolutely not. Not on my watch, because you
Nope.
know why? You are here. So many people didn't even get an opportunity to wake up this morning. And so
Right.
with that, that's why I say gratitude is something that is so key. It's essential to our journey. It's important for us to understand we have to go through the storm. But most
Yeah.
importantly, we have to realize that we are the storm. We're built for this.
That's right. We absolutely are 100%. And Lucy says she agrees with that 100%, sisters. Yes, that'll preach too. This has been a good word today. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So before we have to go and we run completely out of time, can you tell us what advice you have for those seeking a purposeful and abundant life?
The advice that I have for those that seeking that purposeful and abundant life is, first, know who you are.
Hmm.
In the journey, you have to understand it's a true commitment, true dedication to what it is that you're accomplishing or whatever you may even want to accomplish. You
Yeah.
have to visualize yourself. And when you're visualizing yourself, don't just visualize yourself seeing what you can do right in front of you. You got to visualize yourself where you haven't even traveled to, the places of the unknown, the beyond.
Yeah.
You really want to take the time to write that love letter to yourself and to God. Because when you're writing, that's how I learned from my mom, you really get an opportunity to say what's really on your mind.
Hmm.
We pushed away from writing a script anymore. The kids don't even write anymore. Everybody got these computers. Everybody have instant gratification with artificial intelligence. So we're not even using both sides of our brains anymore. So don't just come up with something. You got to come up with something that's going to make you unstoppable. Because once you find that unstoppable, you will keep on going no matter how hard it is, no matter what obstacle may come in your way. When you are really pressing forward, driving towards your purpose that no one else can do, because remember, we all have our own uniqueness. We all have our very own fingerprints. No one has the same fingerprints at all. So once you find your uniqueness and once you find that strength, you embrace it. You let that be that driving force to where you know it can take you beyond where you are. And so that's just what I want to pour into those. Don't give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. No matter how hard you may think it is, it's not that hard. Because remember, your God is already can take you farther than where you are. You just have to stay in it. Stay in it through the good times and the bad times.
That's right. I love that. I could not agree more. I love that you impress upon us the importance of not giving up on ourselves, figuring out who we are, setting big, hairy, audacious goals, as I think it's Mark Batterson said in The Circle Maker. Make big, hairy, audacious goals and see yourself, visualize yourself in a place that you never have before. What is your dream? Dream. How about just do that? Just dream. So many people are dealing with the day to day, just trying to make it from one day to the next, that they quit dreaming. How
Mhm.
about if you start dreaming again about what you want your life to look like? Visualize yourself there in that. Surround yourself with people who will also support you in that, or be careful about who you tell your dreams, like you said, but make sure that whoever you tell is for you, believes in you, and will give you that encouragement. So being a part of community who is of like minds, like mindset, can also encourage you and can also help you reach your goals and get where you need to be and develop this abundance mentality and not stay down in this lack mentality.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. And it's okay. I have more than one mentor, and you have to
Mhm.
understand it's okay to have more than one mentor because you want to have a mentor for what you are working on and what you're working towards. And just keep that in mind. I want to just say this because I know it's live. I want to thank Glenn Lundy. Not only Glenn Lundy, Tommy Dortch Jr. Now, Tommy used to be my mentor. Oh my goodness, we had to place him to rest. He gained his wings last year. But I'll share with you, I know I am a different woman because of those two men. And of course, my father, Willie F. Frank Wilson, who's no longer with us. However, he definitely planted so many seeds in me. This is where I get my drive for in the morning. I wake up every morning, 3 a.m. And man, I go. I work out. I just love my life. And most importantly, it just keeps me grounded. It keeps me grounded, guys. Don't ever lose focus on staying grounded because God keeps you right there. You have a lot of people with this brand new money acting all special. You don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself. Don't allow money to lose you. Please don't allow money to change you either. Just remember that, okay? And don't compare yourself to anyone else but YOU. We need you to stay true to yourself. So don't get up in all this competition with all this noise that you're hearing. We need you to stay true to God's word.
That's right. And be your own authentic you. Stay true to yourself. I love that. I know that the clock is just ticking down so fast. How can we reach you, Renee?
Yes,
After
I'm
today.
ready to fly out of here too, superstar. MeetReneeKnorr.com. MeetReneeKnorr.com is the way you can connect with us. The website is globalwomenwealthwarriors.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you go to MeetReneeKnorr.com, there's an area that says Let's Stay Connected. So please, let's stay connected. I'm getting ready to head over to Cairo, Egypt. In addition to that, I'll have the opportunity of speaking right there. And that'll be our first time doing it. But, we have the seven series regions that we're going to be pouring into Africa. And I'm so excited. Yes, I'm so excited.
Wow,
Yes. And truly,
looking at the website now, we pulled it up and scrolling. It's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you guys so very much. That's again, it's the vision. We have our women empowerment. When we come back from Africa, we're going to be celebrating International Women's Month on March 24th. And yes, I'm just so thankful that God has also blessed us to have some incredible ladies that's going to be traveling with me, Amira Brown, alongside Dr. Zudian Coleman, as well as Dr. Kayla Bryant. But we know when we get over there to Africa, oh my goodness, we're going to see the pyramids for the very first time, Renee. So this is going to be a special trip. I'm so looking forward to it. And if you want to be what we're doing, we always welcome. We're all about inclusivity. So please reach out to us. I'd love to connect with you. And our phone number is 1-800-800-0299. 1-888-800-0299.
Awesome. We'll be sure to include that in the show notes after the show because we definitely want people to stay connected. 1-888-800-0299 and become a part of this movement, become a part of this community that's not just about your own personal growth and development, but actually about impacting lives, not just here in the US, but all across the whole entire world.
Absolutely.
So definitely stay connected. So any final remarks? Is there a question that you wanted me to ask that I didn't?
You did such an amazing job, Renee. Really, I'm just thankful for you giving us the opportunity to come on your platform, to pour in to your viewers, and also to just be received. And I'm so excited in regard to our journey that we have. The question I want to ask you, are you ready for December 14th to be recognized as one of those 100 influential ladies to look out for? Come on now.
I'm ready. I'm so ready. Thank you for even considering the idea that I could be a contender.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. We got to keep shining the spotlight on each other.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You are doing such incredibly amazing things. Thank you so much for all you do. Renee, you were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
Thank you so much.